We have coming up to the stage Yats Palat. He is an inner child specialist with expertise in the field of psychoanalysis. Over the years, he's taken thousands of individuals through the process of healing their past traumas and attachments in their subconscious mind, the mind we cannot see, but we know is there. And he has created opportunities for drastic improvement, a sense of self-love, self-worth, and self-trust, something I pray for every day, as well as true connection and love in their relationships. Using his own childhood trauma and relationship experience as the starting point, he ventured into the world of social psychology, developmental psychology, neuroscience, relational associations, attachment theory, reparenting, and more. Looking to find healing in his own world, thus offering his learnings to his students and clients, helping them access, I love that word, their own healing and love. Yats is a TEDx talk speaker, an avid traveler, a lover of people and connection, and he uses humor, his vibrant inner child, and his relational ability to connect with people all around him. He runs what he calls one of the most powerful therapeutic healing programs called the Gauntlet, as well as conducting his healing work through retreats, memberships, courses, talks, and content. I want to bring to you our special guest helping us learn how to parent with minimal stress and anxiety to our virtual stage, Yats Palat. Woo!
Good morning.
Good morning, Yats. How are you today?
I am good. Thank you. I feel even better after you read that beautiful introduction that I know I wrote and gave to you. So I'm very grateful for you reading that out. Thank you very much.
It always, it's a real spirit lifter to hear your words come back to you.
It is. It
Yeah.
really is actually. It reminds you so much of the why you do what you do, which sometimes you forget when you're so involved in what you're doing in itself. So it's always
Yes.
nice for someone to reflect that back to you. So I'm very grateful. Thank you for that
Thank you.
introduction that you made.
Now, Yats, you're looking dapper this morning. Did you get a haircut just for us here on the Feel Well Health Summit?
This
Because I
is
would
it's
love that
actually
if you did.
It's actually interesting. I cut my own hair, which I did since the pandemic began. And
Mm.
it began as a way that I just had to survive and cut my own hair because it looked hideous. But it became one of the best ways for me to reparent myself and connect with my inner child. So every time I cut my hair, I feel and I create the environment as if I'm a father or a mother cutting his own child's hair. So I put on something funny, maybe sometimes even cartoons, something nice to listen to. Of course, there has to be a beer, which a child would not drink, but let's imagine the father who's cutting the hair is drinking the beer. But it just is an event for me now. So it's actually, I was telling a friend the other day, it's one of my favorite things to do twice a month. So
Really?
it is.
Wow. Okay. And then the little, I'm messing with you, Yats.
Like, don't look dapper? Oh my God.
No. You look dapper. And then I was going to say, and the little flip to the side on the shirt, it adds
Oh,
to a New York model type vibe. I like it. I like it.
You are lucky that I have this many buttons on. If you ask most of my friends, I have at least one or two more buttons missing on my shirt. But I was like, listen, Yats, what's the purpose of the event today? All right. It's the information. It's not the look. I was like, okay, I'll put on some buttons today.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you bringing your whole self to the table. Now, we've been having a great time at the Feel Well Summit. And I don't know if I shared this with you yet, but we did some polling and took some surveys of from the people that registered. Most of them are women.
Mhm.
Most of them have a health goal of wanting to lose weight. We have some mental wellness in there as well, but most want to lose weight. They also shared with us how much they typically spend on health and wellness. And most of them are moms. So most of them do have children. And so you came in with the guns blazing right away, talking about how you cut your hair and you connect with your inner child. You're very intentional about this work that you do. Is it a struggle still to kind of reparent yourself, or do you approach it like you're going outside to play basketball or kickball? Like, is it fun for you?
That's a great question. I think most of the clientele that you have attending this, beautiful event, thank you for having me, by the way, is very similar to the demographic that comes to work with me and the work that we tend to do. And there's two parts to that. One part is about the reparenting in itself, and I had to discover it for myself, like what it actually looked like. And sometimes you have to go through like the bottom of the barrel to actually witness, okay, how do I start and get back up from here? So reparenting at the start, which is so essential for people to hear, may not be easy or pleasant, because we're always looking, the human mind, especially the ego, wants something that's a quick fix and something that's easy, because then it invalidates the effort that, as a child, for example, we were not used to receiving people showing that consistency, those small, consistent steps of love, nurturing, affection, sustainability for us. It either came in big events, or in a lot of cases, we didn't get that love and nurturing at all in the way we wanted. So when you start to reparent yourself, your inner child at the start is like, whoa, 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 listen, you haven't showed up for like 30 years of my life. Now you decide to come in and cut my hair. Like, what's going on over here? In truth, your subconscious is actually a little suspicious, because your subconscious does not respond to just big events. It responds to small consistencies, which is why habit takes at least 21 days of consecutive action. It's not just one day of saying, I'm going to wake up 7, and the next day you wake up at like 9:30 every day and you think you've changed. It's small consistencies every day. So the real reparenting for my inner child didn't happen the first time I cut my hair. It happened the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. And I had to, because of the pandemic, so I couldn't escape it. And that's really when I started to realize that, oh, wow, I can do these things that may have been tasks before, as making them like small, little, fun things to be able to do. As you do them consistently, you actually get more of the fun out of it. So, I mean, extract the fun into it. So, like, there's other ways you connect with your inner child, though, out of these habits. And that's like playing with a puppy or playing with a baby or skipping and dancing. But you know what's funny? As an adult, the first time you try and skip and dance in public, you're going to feel awkward, because you're not your inner child coming out. But the more you start to do it, the more you give yourself permission to have it and connect with your inner child, the more naturally it just starts to come out more and more and more. And that's why when people look at me, they're like, and I have to talk about my age. One, they think because of my profession, I must be in like my late 30s. But then when they look at me and they meet me in person, they're like, you're like 21. Yeah, and I was like, oh, like 25. Let's be real. All right. They say like you're 25. And I'm like, okay, sure. I'm happy to be 25. Because I prioritize getting that energy and that inner child out more and more, which I think we all deserve. All human beings deserve to do.
Yeah. That reminds me of, do you watch Friends?
Oh, God, my favorite show ever. Of course I watch Friends.
Yes, I never get a Friends lover on these things.
Man. I bet you get too many Seinfeld folk.
Well, I'm a lover of Seinfeld as well, but Friends is top priority. So it reminds me of that wonderful, magical episode where Phoebe and Rachel went in the park to run.
Oh my God.
And Phoebe was just everywhere. And Rachel was like, what are you doing? And then she went and tried it when Phoebe wasn't around, because Phoebe made her feel so bad. She was like, don't get upset with me because you're not loose enough with yourself to experience this kind of play and magic and joy, Phoebe. And so when Phoebe wasn't there, Rachel went and gave it a try. And she at first felt awkward. But then she was like, wow, this is amazing. I love it. So, people go check out Friends. It's still one of the best shows ever.
You know what's funny about that is I always loved Ross, and until this very moment, I didn't really understand why I loved him so much. And I just figured out it's because he's probably, even though the others may be funny, he's the most playful of all of them. Like, he has such a serious job, but he does it because he loves dinosaurs, which everybody makes fun of him for. And his expressions, if you look at him, he gives himself permission to be, he looks like this masculine guy, but has very fun, effeminate kind of expressions, when and like you suddenly look at Ross and you're like, oh my God, that guy is just so funny. Like the my sandwich moment. Oh,
yes, please. I can't make this whole thing about Friends. Peter loves Ross too. He says Ross is his favorite one.
Oh man,
So the sandwich episode is really funny.
Hey, and welcome to the Inner Yats YouTube page. If you like our content, make sure you click the like and the subscribe button so that you get more of these amazing videos that keep coming your way.